everybody, welcome back to the channel. Joe and I have been busy the last few days. Her canning is going great, getting things done, wrapped up. Probably forgot about the home renovation, actually the art studio renovation. Yeah, that's what it is. We're going to do a pallet wall. Got some pallets here. I probably got 20-30 other pallets already cut up, and we're just going to show you real quick. I got a real long blade in my reciprocating saw, fine tooth for metal. We're going to use that to cut the nails off. They do make a tool for doing this. You know, it's $50-$80 or whatever, but I mean, this isn't like we're going to be doing a pallet wall every day. So these little blades, you know, $20-$25 for 3 or 4, that'll get me through the job. So just going to show you how this works real quick. And I've done quite a few pallet walls, you know, in my construction career. And I think this one, I was thinking whether I was going to go with you know, horizontal pattern or vertical pattern, or possibly a herringbone. So stick with us and we'll find out where we're at, or what we're going to do. Basically, that's all there is to it. Now, one like this is probably just going to be ripped down into a smaller piece. You can see how cupped it is. That really isn't a good board. We'll probably make do, use it for a little filler, or maybe do 2 1-inch or 1.5 inch pieces. We run this through the table saw. I'm not going to spend the time taking a punch and knocking these nails out. I mean, this will be probably the show side, and that just gives it character for the art studio. I like that. I'm just going to leave it that way. But like I said, you can see the cup to that. This board is probably no-go. This one here is, though. You can see how slick that cuts through. That one's going to be a great board. Really nice. You can see the different colors here. I mean, we're gonna stain some of these, but some we're gonna leave natural. When they're grayed out like this, I really like to use some of that in what I'm gonna do. And right here, you can see this is really dirty and icky, and they're bad rusted nails. So to save time, instead of cutting those little nail heads off, we're just gonna go like this. And the same thing on this one. Now this all just adds character. You can see the pattern in this one right here. This is an oak pallet. And you can see this clear white. This is pine. Now when we stain this one, we leave that natural, we're gonna have a good mix. And that's where the artistic ability that Joe and I have come into building this wall is gonna really come in handy. So instead of boring you with the rest of this, how we're gonna knock these out, I just want to bring you over here. These couple of boards. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up these edges, all this fraying and all this. We're gonna hit that with some light sandpaper. We're gonna determine the better side of our board, and we're gonna run some different stains. We got you know, through my years of construction, I always save these different stains I've done for various projects. I got a golden pecan. I got a mahogany, red mahogany. I got a red oak. I got a walnut, early Americana, and various others, a special walnut. And we're just going to use all these up, and we're just going to get crazy. We're not going to have any special you know, rule to this. We're just going to use our artistic eye. We're going to burn up a part of the can using that, the red oak, basically the pine. We're going to see what we have. We're just going to lay a few pieces out on the floor, and we're going to get started. So let's get after it in the shop. Hey everybody, well, we're back inside the shop slash art studio. It was a shop, and now it's going to be an art studio, believe it or not. So back to the pallet wall. We had a little delay in our progress here. We opted that it would be better to get all the pallet wood inside. We tried keeping it outside and stickering it and putting it underneath tarps to dry it out. But I just wanted to make sure with the humidity we had and everything that it was dry. So we've had it inside the shop here now for a couple of weeks. And in the meantime, Joe and I, if you've followed along, you've seen the progress in the renovation of the studio. So we've been working on that in the meantime. And well, 2 + 2 with us equals 3 or 5. We're never equal, right? So, but, go ahead.
I was just gonna be like, we are busy little beavers.
Make it funny.
No, I was just saying we're busy little beavers. I mean, not only are we doing this today and been working on this stuff today, we've been bouncing around doing walnuts. I've still been doing candy, and he's working on his job. We're always busy.
So enough about us. You're here to see a pallet wall. So we're going to give you some information on that in this first episode. In the second one, we are going to slap some colorful wood on this. I did some math, and I figure if I have 30% waste with what I have, because you're going to have to cut the end of your pallets a lot of different places. You're going to have some bad spots. You're going to have some splits on the end. By the time you rip it through the table saw, so your roll, or basically you want them uniform. You don't want to do a 3-inch roll and a 5-inch. You don't want to do this diagonal monkey business where you're up and down. I mean, for eye appeal, I just think it's better if you run a 3-inch roll, a 5-inch roll, a 2-inch roll, a 1-inch roll, whatever your creative ability starts. But that's just my advice and the ones I've done, whether it's a herringbone wall or whatever. But like I said, for waste purposes on this one, when I measured up my square footage for this wall right here, we're just going to run horizontal. And when you do a herringbone wall, it's a lot more putsy, if that makes any sense. Putsy. It's just more time consuming. And at this stage of the game, we just want to do a horizontal one. We're going to do a lot of videos with this as our backdrop down the road. And I just think what I've watched on YouTube and other people that have herringbone walls, I just think it's just easier on the eye, and it's
I think
great.
if it's a small wall, that works. But I mean, this is a big wall, and I think doing that herringbone, it would be just a little bit too much, too busy.
Yeah. So, anyways, being that's the studio and the shop, I wouldn't recommend doing this in your home because this is a petroleum product. But for my backer board, instead of using black paint, as you can see underneath here, I've got chipboard. I've got 1/2-inch chipboard. Again, I know where to shop. I know where to get deals on stuff, and a lot of that had gouges in it, dings, broken pieces. I made it work back there. I ran a coat of white paint on the whole thing just to seal it up really nice. And, well, what can I say? Hard paper. That's what I'm using.
Why did we put that up there?
It's in the shop. So we're going to have ventilation through here. We got a 16-foot door behind Joe. So we're going to get ventilation. This is the north side of the building in the wintertime. It's not going to be completely airtight, sealed up. So this is okay. And again, I wouldn't advise putting this in the house. And the reason that we use this is the black backdrop. So when we put our pallet wood on here, if you have your seam, okay, we're on horizontal, you're going to have a piece here and a piece here. If you see any line, it's going to look like a shadow line in between the two pieces. It's just going to be a little bit of a dark area. And now if I'd left this white with my paint back there, you would see that. I mean, it would pick that up a lot better. So a black backdrop is
so
what I would do. And if you're doing it in your home,
paint it black?
Yeah, I would paint it black. But for purposes of the shop, like I said, we're going to have good ventilation. Over Joe's left shoulder, we got a door. And then we have a 16-foot opening behind us for the big overhead man door.
We got windows, we're going to have ventilation system.
Yeah. So we're not wrapped completely tight in this building. This front part here, we have good airflow through here. So that's why I'm going to use this petroleum stuff. So
let's head back and look at
the
wood.
Drop a comment. You probably don't think that's cool, but you know what? For us, that's the way we roll. So that's what we're going to do. So back here in this section, if you watch your other videos, we finally got our little work table in here. And underneath here, this is going to be for the wood stove over there down the road. But keeping on subject and on task here with the pallet. We're not getting squirreled with the pallet wood wall. We got all our wood right in here drying out. We got nice airflow through the back of the shop right there. Because, something else I haven't finished. We're getting there.
We are.
So, here's our pallets. We got a nice mix right here. Joe and I started sorting them out. We got some different thicknesses. You know, we probably got some that are 3/8. We got some half down underneath there. We got some 5/8. And we're going to try and run all the same thicknesses if we can, just so we stay on the same plane again. So, you know, if we're going to go out in the front, you want the same thickness. So if you put one here and one there, you know, we're gonna have the same thickness there. We don't want to do the old stepperoni. You know, you can see the difference there. And we got a big difference in the step. No, that won't be the end of the world, but I want to try and keep uniform until we get maybe to the bottom. And if we need to use these thicker ones, these 5/8, 3/4 ones, then that's what we're gonna do. Well, we got a nice mix here. We got some beautiful, this is a maple. We got some nice oak we're gonna put in there. Come down this way, you can see we got some clear pine. That's gonna take a nice stain. We're just putzing around with some of the orange mahogany stain we had on a piece of clear. And that's the kind of stuff that we're gonna end up with. So we got a lot of different colorations. We got our stain over there that we had showed you outside when we were sawing up the pallets. Come down this way, we got a nice variety of wood here. We got some walnut pallets. I don't know why somebody make a pallet out of walnut, but we got it. And we got some beautiful, this is spalted maple, like a bird's eye maple. We got some oak, and these were not.
And I love the little knots in there.
Yeah, that's just nice character, and that's gonna work out great for the wall.
I even like, what's that, pine?
And this is a pine, yeah, this is a clear pine.
And I like the little knots. You stain that, but don't stain it too dark. I like that knot.
Yep. And then behind that, I mean, we've got a multiple of options that we have here. So this is awesome. We got, this one here, this is just a pine that's just been weathered outside. And on the back side, if we want to go clear, there it is. You know, we might want to cut part of that off. It's got some gouges, so you're going to have that much waste.
But I love that front.
Yeah.
The way that's, well, whatever one's the front. That's hard.
Yeah.
I like the way that looks with the...
Joe's artistic ability. She's going to want this side, and I'm going to say, no, we're going to stain this side.
I'll probably win, though.
She's a little bull moose.
I am.
Bull moose will win. But anyway, that's what we got rolling here. So we're going to start up there. We're going to start at the top. We're going to snap a line, a chalk line, so we're level to start out. And we'll get back to you on episode number 2 when we get started.
Yeah, getting a little late tonight, but we did get everything organized. He was looking for both the depth and the width, I guess, or whatever one you want to call it, so that, like he said, you want to run them all together, not. So we got that all done today, getting a little late in the evening, and we're going to pick up on this within the next day or two. We're going to get that sucker up.
Yeah, like Joe said, episode 2, we're going to speed the camera along a lot so you can see, as we go, and we're not rambling so much, but one of the things we're going to fill you in right now is just on the how-to end of this and setting things up. Like Joe said, we just tried to sort widths and stuff out. That's what you want right there. See, we got our width. We're gonna have to square up the ends at 90 degree, and we're gonna have to run this through the table saw to take off that 1/2 inch right there. But you want the same width going that way. You don't want to, do this like I was telling you out in the front part of the shop there. You don't want to step down, like this. You don't want to be doing this. Well, let's put this in like this. You don't want to have a step down. Then your next one's got to come down here. I mean, I just want it
on a smaller wall that might look nice, but this is a big wall, and we don't want it to be too busy. We just
exactly.
The shop, we just want a nice. You don't want to walk in here and be like, oh my god, that's horrible.
Yeah. Well, that's enough rambling on that, but we just want to fill you in on the do's and don'ts. I've done this a lot of times, many times. Many times. I've done this many times, and that's what we're going to do. So once we get set up out there, get a row or 2 rolling, Joe and I stain some of these boards. We play around, probably going to lay it out on the floor a little bit before we tack it up there. And in fact, we run the air tacker, my stapler up there. We're going to run 1/2 inch staples, or brads, probably brads, not staples. We're going to run brads into it. I'm just going to put 2 tacks in each one until I get about 1/3 of the way through the wall. And then that way, if we don't like something, we get in there with the pry bar and we pull it out and we can put a new one in. If it's not eye appealing, it's not cosmetically effective for our artistic ability.
Too much of a light to a dark.
Right. We don't want to put 6 tacks in it and then have to try and pull that out. And we're not going to glue it. Of course, it's not going to do any good if you want to glue it to that tar paper that's out there, basically roofing paper. it's not going to do any good because that roofing paper is only air stapled up on the wall. So.
And this is, like I said, it's a shop. It's not a house. You do a house, you might want to check a different one out on that. We've tried to explain that one a little bit, but
Yeah, definitely. If you
it's just the entrance to the
yeah,
shop.
if you don't have good ventilation, I'd advise, if you want that dark wall, again, use paint. So just go from there.
But
So,
we've had this open a lot of the summer here, airing it out, and that's tomorrow's gonna be October 1st, and we're still hitting 80s. So as much as I do want that closed off, we're leaving it open. More ventilation, we'll get that since we've closed everything else up lately. If you've been following along, we'll still get that airflow between the big 16-foot door and in there while we're hanging this up and let it dry. So.
but we'll see you in part 2 of this pallet wall. I'm sure you're going to want to see the progress instead of us rambling along. And I hope you're watching some of the renovation videos on the Taxidermy art studio. You know, the way we're setting up things as far as lighting and efficiency. We've done quite a bit of this through the years, and this is going to be the final show, I believe. You know, so we want to have it right, and we're trying to share that information with you. And we'd appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe. And until episode number 2, pallet wall, here we come.